An animal test is the use of non-human animals in experiments that seek to control the variables that affect the behavior or biological system under study. Another definition is that an animal test is any scientific experiment or test in which a live animal is forced to undergo something that is likely to cause them pain, suffering, distress, or lasting harm. Many different species are used around the world, but the most common include mice, fish, rats, rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, farm animals, birds, cats, dogs, mini pigs, and non-human primates, like monkeys and in some countries, chimpanzees.
Where do they take place? They usually take place at universities, medical schools, pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies, and military defense establishments. What is it used for? Some of the products that commonly involve animal testing are cosmetics, drugs, food additives, supplements, household products, pesticides, industrial chemicals, medical treatments, and surgeries. As you can see, animal tests are used in most of the industries that produce stuff that we use daily. Unfortunately, people use products that are tested in animals without really knowing or without caring about it. What brands use animal tests? You may have assumed that most major cosmetic companies were on board with alternatives to cruelty to animals, but there are some that still pay to poison and kill. It isn't always easy to know which brands are completely cruelty-free. These brands may sound familiar to most people, especially the ones who use makeup, but sadly they still use animals to test their products. These brands are Avon, NARS, Clinique, Maybelline, Mary Kay, Bobbi Brown, Victoria's Secret, Benefit, Glam Glow, Oppie, Boscia, Clarins. This list is very long. However, there are still many brands that keep their animal testing policies as a secret.
I will talk about 11 facts that I think that are important and that probably you didn't know about animal testing. Well, the first fact that I will talk about is that over 100 million animals are burned, crippled, poisoned, and abused in US labs every year. That number is a really big number, so I think that we need to change something. The second fact is that 92% of experimental drugs that are safe and effective in animals fail in human because they are too dangerous or don't work. Sometimes when they try it in humans, they kill the humans and that stuff because we do not share like all the systems with the animals that they try on them. The third fact is that labs that use mice, rats, birds, reptiles, and amphibians are exempted from the minimal protection under the Animal Welfare Act, the AWA. The fourth fact is that up to 90% of animals used in US labs are not counted in the official statistics of animals test. Well, the fifth fact is that Europe is the world's largest cosmetic market. Israel and India have already banned animal testing for cosmetics and the sale or import of new animal-tested beauty products. The sixth fact is that even that animals that are protected under the AWA can be abused and tortured, and the law doesn't record the use of body alternatives to animals, even if they are available. Like, for example, that if you can use like a computer program to simulate the results, they prefer like to still use animals. The seventh fact is that according to the Humane Society, registration of a single pesticide requires more than 50 experiments and the use of as many as 12,000 animals. The eighth fact is in tests of potential cancerogens, subjects are given a substance every day for 2 years. Other tests involve killing pregnant animals and testing their fetuses. The number 9 fact is that real-life applications for some of the test substances are as trivial as an improved laundry detergent, new eyeshadow, or copycat drugs to replace a profitable pharmaceutical whose patent expired. The 10 is that alternative tests achieve one or more than the 3 R's, replace a procedure that uses animals with a procedure that doesn't, reduces the number of animals using a procedure, refines a procedure to alleviate or minimize potential animal pain. The last fact is that several cosmetic tests commonly performed on mice, rats, rabbits, and guinea pigs include skin and eye irritation tests, where chemicals are rubbed on shaved skin or driven into the eyes without any pain relief.
They remain in pain. They suffer from extreme frustration, and most of the time they are lonely. They wait long periods of time to be free. All they can do is sit and wait in fear for the next terrifying and painful procedure that will be performed on them. A review of 101 high-impact basic science discoveries based on animal experiments found that only 5% resulted in approved treatments within 20 years.
The alternatives for the animal testing. There are many non-animal testing methods that can be used in place of animal testing. Not only are these non-animal tests more humane, they also have the potential to be cheaper, faster, and more relevant to humans. These alternatives to animal testing include sophisticated tests using human cells and tissues. One of the biggest opportunities of the alternatives to the animal testing is the in vitro testing that the Harvard University Institute has created organs on chips that contains human cells grown in a system to mimic the structure or the function of an organ, so they can use it like they are a human, and they can use all the drugs or the disease that they can experiment on animals too. And another method is the computer modeling that researchers have developed a range of sophisticated computer models that simulate the human biology and the progression of developing disease. And another alternative that is the most popular right now is the research with human volunteers. That is a man or a woman that are volunteered to use the drugs or to have the disease to test the proofs or the medicines.